Hello everyone, welcome to another Carbon Chemical live session. I'll be your presenter today, Dale Smith, Product Development Agronomist for the Northwestern region. And today we're going to look at the Omex brand. We're going to take a quick look at the history of Omex to get you some more information on the background of this particular brand. We're also going to look at the specific products we have under this particular brand and look at them in depth. The Omex line is a European line. It's in the UK. It has over 40 years experience in producing agricultural, environmental, and also industrial chemicals. But we'll be focusing on the agricultural chemicals. Omex is known for creating agrifluids, particularly so high suspension concentrate fertilizers that are 100% water soluble, and with this particular formulation they are able to pack a lot of nutrients in one bottle. So we can pack macros, micros, and also secondary nutrients in this particular formulation. Also is free of chlorides and also free of any toxic heavy metals, so it's very safe to use. As I mentioned before, this particular brand has been involved in environmental chemicals as well, so all our agricultural chemicals are also geared on the environmental side. The first product under the Omex brand, here at CCJ we carry 5 products under the Omex lineup. We have Calmax B, Bio 20, Fortify, Foliar, Boron, and Garland. All of these we have available in 500 milliliters and 1 liter presentations. For our Calmax B, we have gone up a size larger and we have that in a 3 liter presentation. And for Garland, we have it in a smaller 250 ml presentation. So a wide variation of presentations available for you, the farmers. Our first product under this Omex brand would be our Bio 20. And rightfully so, because this is one of the products that we use in the early development of the crop, and it also can be used through the growth stage. But I don't want you to be fooled by the name Bio 20, thinking it's just a regular 2020. No, as I mentioned before, it's a high suspension concentrate formulation, so we're able to pack a lot of goodies in this one bottle. One of the key pointers in the Omex Bio 20 lineup is that it has 5% kelpak seaweed. And this kelpak is able to deliver auxins, cytokines, and amino acids that are essential in the cell division and development of the plant, especially in that early nursery stage when we want that root mass and root bulk to have those healthy seedlings for transplant. This is one such product that is able to deliver that, and it having that high percentage of NPK as a 20-20-20 is able to deliver that punch and much more with the kelpak factor. Calmax B is also a good product under our Omex lineup. It is focused more so on the enhancement of fruit quality. So this is one such product that when we speak about bulk, improving shelf life, and this directly impacts on the yield of your crop. It has a 20.5% calcium and also has some boron in it. And if you know anything about how these nutrients work, calcium and boron together create a synergistic package in which the boron is able to move through via the calcium. Calmax B also is important in the uptake of nutrients. As I mentioned before, we are trying to get that bulk. So this is a product that is geared towards production. And we offer these products in a program that can be used to match the different physiological stages of the plant. So as I mentioned, Bio 20 in the early stage, going through the growth stage, and Calmax B here now we have as a finisher in the production stage. All these are agrifluids, high suspension concentrations that are able to pack a lot of nutrients in one bottle. That's the key to the Omex line, the suspension concentration. And if you were to backtrack to the first slide, you would have seen picture of the suspension concentrate versus a regular solution. And this is how they're able to pack all those macronutrients, micronutrients, and secondary nutrients in one presentation, one formulation. So moving on from Calmax B, we have our Fortify, which is a high phosphorus and potassium based formulation. Now it's not only a high phosphorus and potassium base, it also has some zinc and manganese aspect to it as well, and it's very important in completing this package. This particular product is very important in the fact that it delivers both phosphates and phosphites. And we know that phosphate is a ready form of phosphorus for the plants, and phosphate is able to move through the phloem tissue to the vascular tissue and therefore create some form of systemic effect in the plant. So oftentimes we speak about developing plant immunity. Phosphates are responsible for helping plant immunity. It also can transport particular fungicides. So when your farmers are fighting fungal infections and you may use foliar applications to your plant leaves, the phosphates in this particular product is able to pull that nutrient and also active ingredient from the fungicide all the way through the plant. So you can get some systemic control from this product as well. So it's very good in plant defense. As I mentioned, it is good at the building the immune system and provides rapid translocation in essential nutrients, thus the zinc and manganese package to this formulation. Foliar boron is an excellent product. We have foliar boron with 15% boron, a very high percentage of boron in this product. And this is geared towards making cell wall material, and it's also linked to the movement of sugars across the cell wall. So this product again is geared towards getting an early initiation of flowering, and therefore if we can have larger, well-developed flowers, then we will improve our yields by getting larger, well-developed fruits. And that's what we gear for. So we don't want to wait until we have fruit development to start wondering how to improve production. We have started this from in the flowering stage, and we're able to do so by increasing amount of pollen being produced as well. And we have boron deficiency in a wide range of crops. And oftentimes we observe this very late, and is at a stage when the crop is in full production. And oftentimes also we can mistake this for iron. Boron is one such particular nutrient that is immobile in the plant. It's not very mobile. So it may be mobile in the soil. So oftentimes farmers, you might do a soil test and it says that your boron is high, but then the plant is unable to pick up that boron. So in crops like hot peppers, papaya, you will see this deficiency showing itself, especially when the plant is in its production phase. So having a product such as foliar boron that is able to apply that high percentage boron at the growing tips of the leaves and of the flower is very essential in improving and maintaining that production. We are going to now look at some of the programs in which we use the Omex line. As I mentioned, we use them in a crop program that targets the specific physiological stages of the plant. So if you could remember, Bio 20 is in the earlier stage where we have seedling development and also through the growth and development of the plants in the field. We have Calmax B, which is geared towards finishing, development of the fruit, development of the flower, yield maximization. We have Fortify, geared towards root development and building immunity in the plant. So we're going to look at how farmers have used this strategy in cauliflower and broccoli, and that's Brassicas. So cauliflower and broccoli, we have Omex by 20 and Fortify being used. Once we have the 3 true leaves developed, we can move on to include Fortify in that application until we start to see the onset of the head development. Once you're seeing the head development, we'll drop the Bio 20, which is a high nitrogen factor, and concentrate now on the Calmax B, because we want to have that bulking and development of the head, thus the inclusion of Calmax B to the Fortify. And this will bring from that initial root development all the way until harvest. And here we have the results. We have larger, thicker stems and heads being harvested a week earlier. So we now move from having plants 1 week slower. And if we have products in our lineup that can do that, that's a win-win to a farmer who is able to bring his produce to the market 1 week earlier and at a higher yield with an extended shelf life to add. Because Calmax B, because of that calcium shot, gives you an extended shelf life of the product. We also use it in string beans. Again, we start off with our Bio 20 and Fortify at the 3 true leaf stage. And remember I said the Bio 20 can be used in the seedling stage. So for crops that we have in a nursery, Bio 20 can be used as well. And then once you have transplanted to the field, you will now continue or include Fortify in that presentation. So we have Bio 20 and Fortify all the way until we are seeing the first bud formation. Because this is now string beans, so all the way until you're seeing the first bud formation. And once we have that bud set and the flower is produced, we can now change to include Calmax B again. So this is a general crop program in which we include our Bio 20 and Fortify at the initiation stage and development stage, and then include Calmax B for the production stage. Now for this particular crop, string bean, we also include Foliar boron because we want to improve on that bud set and flower formation to ensure that we have improved pod length and weight. And that's very important for string beans because a lot of times you can have the pods being irregular shaped or misformed, and therefore you have light pods with not much beans in them. So for that to go around that problem or to negate that problem, we include Foliar boron at this stage to improve the flower formation. We also continued in cabbage. It's also a brassica, just like cauliflower and broccoli. And as I mentioned, the crop program is similar, Bio 20 and Fortify, and then we include Calmax B 4 weeks after transplant up to harvest. Now, some of the results that are key to mention is that these heads that were treated under the Omex program came to maturity the same time or 10 days before, in some cases, crops that were planted at the same time. And we have uniform development throughout the field, which is a very important factor for any crop development. That uniformity in development is very important, and these products, Omex Bio 20 and Calmax B, offers such uniformity. The weight also is a very important factor because we attribute this to the yield. And as I mentioned earlier, Calmax B is for bulking, and therefore we have uniform heads, heavier weight as well. A win-win for the farmer. Omex is also used in sweet peppers, hot peppers, solanaceous crops. And we start off again just after transplant with the Bio 20 and Fortify from week 1 all the way up to week 4. Once we have that flower set, we can move from the Bio 20 to include the Calmax B. And this will be brought all the way up from there until, excuse me, all the way up until the first harvest. A key thing about sweet peppers is that they are repeat fruiting crops, so there's no one-off application. This will have to be continued through the life of the crop all through its productive stage. So we're looking for quick rooting, larger leaves, strong nodes, and these are all indications of the crop to come. And increased biomass of the particular plant. We're looking for greater stress tolerance, plants that can stand up to our conditions here in Jamaica. A lot of our soils are free drain, quick drying out soils, and the conditions are very harsh. So we have to build that stress tolerance in the plants so that they can continue to produce under these stressful factors and stressful conditions. Fast maturity again. If you notice, I've been mentioning how 1 week earlier, 10 days earlier, we are able to bring these crops to harvest over the control. So that's a key factor again of this Omex lineup. Increased yield. And increased yield includes not just quantity, but also the weight of the particular produce or crop. So used in a crop program, the Omex line is able to give you all these factors. Increased yield, enhanced fruit development, greater stress tolerance, and increased plant biomass. And these are all factors that we farmers, or you the farmers also, look forward to in terms of improving your production. We have also successfully used Omex in our onion and scallion production. And we started out this using the Omex line along with other nutrient packages that we have here at Caribbean Chemicals. But we use the Omex Bio 20, Omex Fortify all through the initial stages of the onion right up until bulbing. Then we switch to Calmax B, which help with the swelling of the bulbs, bulb formation, and all the way up until harvest. And again, we saw shorter maturation time, healthier foliage, and if you know anything about onion, the leaves, being the shape that they have to be well developed for the plant to get maximum photosynthesis. And we saw greater yield. We moved from 40,000 to 60,000 pounds per acre, and that's a big jump in terms of production and yield. So all in all, the Omex line is a very flexible line of agrifluids that is capable of improving production in vegetable crops and fruit tree crops right across the island. And when used in a program to match the physiological stage of the crops, it can improve yield, biomass, give it that early root initiation from the seedling stage that is very vital for that transplant, for the plant to get over that initial stress, and also has a high concentration of nutrients based on the formulation, the high suspension concentrate formulation is able to deliver a high nutrient package that can be used right across the board in farming. Coming up events we have on Tuesday, February the 1st, myself will be making a presentation on tomato production the Caribbean Chemicals way. But before I move to any questions, I have a question of my own. If you're listening, I want you to tell me what percentage of boron is in our Omex Foliar boron. So you can think about that and remember to tune in for that farmer training. It will be on tomato production, the CCJ way, and that will be on 1 p.m. Tuesday. So if there are any questions, I'll take them now while you think about my question. What percentage of boron is in the Omex Foliar boron?
I only have 2 questions, Dale. When you say bulk up, what Omex product can be used to bulk up your fruits and vegetables? And explain when you say bulk up.
Okay. All right. By bulk up, I mean the product that we used to do that would be Calmax. And by bulk up, I'm speaking about thickening of the cell walls. So Calmax B having that high percentage of calcium and the inclusion of boron is able to do that because those particular nutrients are geared towards the development of the cell wall and the thickening of the cell wall and the translocation of sugars. So that's why we use that particular product at the stage where we have flower initiation leading on to fruit development and development of the heads.
And what is the source of the biostimulants in Bio-20?
Oh, the biostimulant, as I mentioned, it is a high nitrogen package with the kelp pack, 5% kelp pack. So it's the kelp seaweed, it's a seaweed extract that delivers those biostimulants, the cytokines and the auxins.
What is the source of the biostimulants in Bio-20?
Okay, so the biostimulants in Bio-20 comes from the 5% kelp pack, which is a seaweed, and that delivers the cytokine and auxins that are able to give that stimulating effect to the plant. Quick root development and development of the buds.
Final question is, what do the phosphites and phosphates in Fortify do?
Oh, good question. Well, we've discovered that, our Omex rather has discovered that the inclusion of both phosphate and phosphite gives a win-win situation to the plant. The phosphate delivers a ready source of phosphorus to the plants, while the phosphite is more of an immunity builder. The phosphite is also able to translocate nutrients or pull nutrients from the leaves down through the vascular system. And also, as I mentioned, certain fungicides, it is able to attach themselves to that and pull them through the vascular system. So you're getting a systemic effect from certain products. So it is a product that you can include in your fungal program or fungicidal program, control program.
There's the answer. It's on YouTube. Casey Wilson, and she said 15%.
Yes, Ms. Wilson, you're right. You were listening. 15% Foliar boron.
All right, and in order to collect your gift, Ms. Wilson, please send us a message at 401-4766 on our WhatsApp, and we will have your gift sent to you. And I want to add something, Dale. This evening we're not able to stream on Instagram because of some technical challenges. So we are going to post the presentation afterwards on Instagram. So we apologize for that.
All right, yes. So we do apologize for not being able to stream via Instagram, but technical difficulties do happen, and we'll post it up on Instagram shortly after. So for all those who were tuned in, YouTube, thanks again for watching.